Welcome back. We are breaking this big exclusive from Srinagar. Republic TV has learned through highly placed sources in our intelligence sources that there has been a massive regrouping of dreaded terrorist organizations. We are talking about particularly Hizbul Mujahideen and Lashkar-e-Toiba in Pak-occupied Kashmir. This is the story that we are breaking, and Republic TV's deputy editor, Shavan, is here with me, who's breaking this story. Let's quickly go across to Shavan and get you more information on this. 150 terrorists, Shavan, in fact, are being regrouped. And what more do we have? What more inputs do we have on this?
Well, Sakal, what we are picking up from top intelligence sources who are based out of Srinagar is that the terror launch pads have once again reactivated. Now, this is essentially the Lashkar-e-Toiba as well as the Hizbul Mujahideen. The estimate that perhaps the intelligence sources are looking at right now, they're saying that there was a surveillance that was done over a period of time, and they're saying about 150 terrorists who are still right now at these launch pads. Now, remember, these launch pads becomes very, very important because this is the final threshold before they really crossed over. And what we are also picking up from our sources is the fact that there have been massive training that has actually taken place, and instructions have gone ahead where they've been told to cross over before the dawn of winter, because remember, this perhaps is the only window that they have to cross over, because thereafterwards with the winter setting in, it becomes certainly difficult for any sort of infiltration to really take place. And what is even more significant is the very fact that intelligence sources also saying that there have been some sort of movement of the Pakistani army also as far as these terror launch pads are concerned. Now, these are, as far as these launch pads are concerned, we are being told there are about 20 to exactly 25 launch pads which have basically reactivated. There have been movement that's essentially been seen. And I'll just read out exactly the most active launch pads. One is in Dudnial, Kotli Kund, Baroli and Rawalkot. These are the most active launch pads is what we are being told. Bat movement also been seen in sectors which are opposite Keran, Uri and Punch, because remember, these are the areas where perhaps the Pakistani army has an upper hand, and that's the reason why they always perhaps they do depend on the bat movement. And that is exactly where the Indian Army also essentially focuses. Apart from that, we are also being told that there's been training which has been going on. These are month-long training that actually took place before they really have been brought till the terror launch pad, remember, which was attacked exactly a year ago when India actually carried out the surgical strike. But once again, perhaps what we are looking at is the reactivation of those very launch pads.
Let's talk a bit more about the army assisting them. You talked about the bat movement. In fact, a few weeks ago, if you remember, Shavan, we also broke those visuals wherein very clearly the infiltration bid by some of the terrorists who were actually accompanied by the bat personnel were seen in that video. And that perhaps was from LOC. So it's very, very clear that bat and Pakistani army, this is perhaps no more their secret, the way they continue to provide cover to the terrorists when they cross over particularly.
Well, absolutely. There's no doubt about that, Sakal, given the fact that we have seen time and again how cover fire is basically provided by the Pakistani army when any sort of infiltration is actually taking place, and especially these sectors, if you're talking about Keran, Uri and Punj sector. These are the areas where you would find maximum sort of infiltration actually taking place. Bat movement also, we have seen in the last 1 year how active bat movements have actually taken place, all under the cover of the Pakistani army. But what we are essentially picking up right now is the very fact that there have been active movement of the Pakistani army in these very areas. The launch pads these launch pads